Minutes later, Twilight and Spike stood on the steps of the town hall facing the square. Twilight rose to her fullest extent and spread her wings so she towered above Nimby and Yimby, who sat at the bottom of the steps.
Right, who's talking? Twilight, I assume.
Um, yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
Spike or Twilight. Yeah,
I remember it was Twilight because she's funny.
yeah.
Hello, nice to meet you so soon. Spike.
Spike glanced at Twilight. A tinge of malevolence crept into her voice as he addressed the two zoning control board members.
You tried to take away my castle, my home. But instead, you've revealed your true selves. Now I know who you are.
She turned to Spike.
Hey, Spike, remember that fruit-changing spell I was practicing a while ago? I finally perfected it. Watch.
Oh, man.
Wait, so they're bananas?
Well, let's see. A flash. I'm thinking oranges, but we'll
Right,
see.
no.
Oh. A flash of Twilight's horn obscured the two ponies. When the light faded, what were once two ponies had become pony-sized bananas with legs, eyes, and ears the same color as the ponies were before.
Well, I mean, like, I read
Okay.
Spike's word bananas, but what
Yeah.
I'm asking is, like, I know what you are, and then you turn them into bananas? What does it even imply? That they are bananas?
That they're bananas, I guess. They are
Bananas?
bitches who were bananas. Spike said, just as confused as he was horrified.
Yep. Bananas. Absolutely nothing
Wait.
anywhere near anything. What?
She made an acronym for it. Bananas build
That's-
absolutely nothing anywhere near anything.
Okay, Twilight. I love you, even though you're complete crazy.
She is completely crazy, and I love it. Gosh,
That's Twilight.
this is... I hope this is going to be how the fanfic just goes. Twilight ending with complete dictatorship and turning all of her foes into
I would
bananas.
still be her slave if she taught me Latin.
Good to know.
Even when she is crazy.
I would, well, I don't know. I guess I'd be Spike. He's probably the safest in all of this. The Nimby and Yimby bananas spoke, but the only noise that came was the usual noise a banana makes, whatever that is.
I'm sure there's a song I'm supposed to quote right now, but I don't remember it.
Mm,
I'm sure there's a song with a dancing banana.
yeah, there is.
Now that I have your villains in your two forms...
Twilight
Okay, let me do
said...
that again.
Okay.
Now that I have you villains in your two forms,
Twilight said forcefully.
I will send you where you belong.
The two sentient pony-sized bananas before her protested, but Twilight's horn lit up and they disappeared.
How do you protest when you can't make sound?
I assume they were just kind of rolling around.
God damn, that emoji is weird.
It is actually a pretty weird image. The story got kind of scary in a way, but I love it.
Where did you send them to?
Spike asked frantically as Nimby and Yimby had disappeared.
I sent them to Canterlot so that Celestia can bring them to justice and Jews.
Thought she just straight up sent them to the moon, but alright.
Only Celestia may do that.
A thought seemed to suddenly occur to her.
Oh, I should probably send Celestia a letter explaining that. Spike, take a note.
Spike retrieved a quill and parchment and began dutifully writing more than just what Twilight dictated. Hopefully Celestia would know what to do about this, he thought.
Oh, what a traitor. See, Twilight, you can't trust Spike. Take me instead.
Spike, you better know what you're doing, bud. You could literally be the next one to get turned into a banana if Twilight catches you. Turning ponies into bananas is one thing, but you needed context if they suddenly appeared in the room next to you. Well, I mean, I guess that's true, but still. Twilight unrolled the checklist she had made in the mayor's office of things to do now that she had absolute power, and ticked off the box labeled
Exact revenge against my mortal enemies.
She glanced at the next item on the list and nodded. Spike ran up to Twilight as she put the checklist underneath a wing. Satisfied, she teleported herself and Spike to one of the balconies on her castle.
Spike, can you get a few books for me?
Spike hesitated. Twilight stepped to the edge of the balcony that overlooked Ponyville and gazed out on the town.
I think we need to have a talk, Twilight.
Spike said with a mix of concern and resolve.
You're getting way out of hand with your power. Is that so, Spike?
Twilight's voice was just a few notes deeper now, barely enough for Spike to notice. But he gulped.
Right, she was turning into a guy. Oh no.
Apparently so. Your voice acting was getting more and more fitting.
I guess that's true. I said I was good. I just thought when I go crazy, I go more high pitched and deeper. But whatever. Yeah, you're going overboard with this.
Twilight turned to him. A thin, wispy trail of smoke, just a few hairs thick, wavered unanchored from the outer corners of Twilight's eyes. Oh no!
Does that imply she's gonna have like no character and be really flat and constantly say quisters?
It sounds like it, and be obsessed with stairs and the worst thing of all, Gak.
Oh no! You've opened Pandora's box. Anyway.
Twilight softened, consoling her loyal assistant.
Thanks, Spike. I can always count on you to keep me in check.
Spike sighed with relief.
I just have to make one more change to make... Fuck. I just have one more change to make, and then I will relinquish my power. I promise.
Twilight crossed a hoof in front of her chest, and Mock poked her eye with it.
And then the eye fell out.
Jeez. Spike smiled.
Okay, what do you need me to do?
Twilight gazed out at Ponyville. The vantage point this high in the castle provided an excellent view of the spatial layout of the small town.
There's one thing that always annoyed me about Ponyville, Spike.
I'm so looking forward to this. I'm sorry. I just want to see what she... Like, I'm hyped at this. I don't know why.
I'm sitting here with the dumbest grin, just being like, yes. All of yes. Even after living here for years, it still bugs me. Do you know what it is?
Spike shook his head. Twilight pointed down at the rest of the town with a foreleg.
I wish there was more I wish there was more scenery to eat right now.
Scenery?
It's the street. I know, isn't it what you call it when you totally overact? Show the scenery.
Yeah, I think so.
It's the streets, they're so...
A sinister note hung on Twilight's next word.
Disorganized. The streets just wind about with no thought put into them, and they are often so narrow that two ponies can barely pass each other. It's as if no effort was put into planning them at all.
Spike raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
I just need to make a few adjustments. Don't worry, nothing drastic, just fixing Ponyville's planning and putting everything in its place. But how?
Spike began to object. Twilight waved away his objection matter-of-factly.
I've already done all the calculations for optimum efficiency based on every pony's traffic patterns, and I have a perfect rendered version of how the town should look in my head as we speak.
Twilight's eyes darted from building to building as she mentally rearranged Ponyville to fit into her perfect image.
Oh, and that reminds me.
She focused on the town hall.
Can you get me a few books? I need to make a couple of minor adjustments to my plan.
She's gonna blow up the zoning board building. I'm sure. I feel
But
all...
she already quit the zoning board.
Yeah, actually,
Everyone
that's
left
true.
as her friend.
Well,
Yeah,
Rarity needs
unless
to
other
pay...
rarity.
Exactly, Rarity needs to pay too.
Okay, what do you need?
Twilight thought for a moment, not taking her steady gaze off of the town hall. Her magical aura began to materialize around her horn, and as she concentrated, it snaked around the ground floor of the town hall, seeping deep into the ground to reach into the building's very foundation.
Get me any books by Baron from Horseman and Le Coin Brother.
Oh, I'm interested. I mean, I already was, but I don't even know who those
But
are.
now you're like super interested because it's names that you don't know.
Exactly.
That gets you so hyped.
It's Baron von Horseman. For all I know, that could be like the Red Baron. Except probably not even sort of. That'd be a bit weird.
He is by naming type German.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
there's a French dude.
Yeah.
So I think whenever I combine French and German, it tends to end really good. Not really in a world war, which is always a good thing.
That is clearly what we're after right now. Spike looked at Twilight as her concentration intensified. He looked out over Ponyville. The sun hung low in the sky as the tendrils of magic snaked upward to encompass more and more of the town hall. Deep within him, Spike didn't really want to watch what Twilight was doing, so I ran off into the castle's new library to fetch the books.
To help her is what she was doing.
Wait, what was she doing?
Well, whatever she was doing. I don't know, but I mean, he's like, I don't really want to watch this because this is gonna end bad. So I'm gonna grab books to help her with it. I don't know, it just sounds like a bad plan. It's like, I think he'd be better off going somewhere else right now.
It does sound like a bad plan, but I don't know. He's staying on her good side, probably for the best for him, considering it looks like she's going to uproot the entirety of Town Hall.
I guess it's best to be in the eye of the storm.
Yeah, exactly. They were easy enough to find. Spike picked up a stack of 4 books. They're all very thick, and Spike looked at the cover of one on the top as he walked back to the balcony. You know, whatever. It was labeled...
Clanvoyism, Le Coin Brother.
Exactly.
I know, I read it. I want to read it in Spike's voice, but then I thought to read it in Spike's voice, so now it's whatever.
It's fine. For some reason unknown to the dragon, he shuddered with an overwhelming sense of dread.
Might it have something to do with the fact that Twilight is kind of mentally deranged right now?
Yeah, maybe just a bit. I don't know. But to each their own. Celestia walked up to the tower. I mean, maybe Spike secretly really loves when Twilight's, like, super deranged and...
Well, I mean, I do.
Exactly. And as I said,
and
whenever...
you like crazy Rainbow Dash face, so, I mean, I think it's perfectly
we all
normal.
win. It's normal to love the crazies. And like I said, he gets rewarded. He gets right on her back when she commits evil deeds. So it really works out.
That's the best reasoning ever. Like, why would you join up with that super villain? I thought we had something going here. He lets me right on his back. Okay, I can understand. It's pretty hard to like not go with this.
I mean, that's clearly why Darth Vader joined the Emperor. It wasn't because of any robot stuff. It was just because, you know, Emperor gives pretty good...
vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Canon, totally canon.
Celestia walked up the tower at the top of Canterlot Castle, calmly levitating another cup of tea. She had finally finished her royal duties for the day, and it was time for her to lower the sun.
She's pretty lazy.
She is pretty lazy.
Because, I mean, like, she got the letter, and I assume that was, like, the beginning of her day, because she was resting.
Right.
She sends out the letter, and then, like, 5 hours later or whatever, because, I mean, like, Twilight can't have been gone for so long.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm confused about. Yeah, she is pretty lazy. And aside from that, what about the things that got sent to her as bananas? So she just, like, that should have gotten through, like, 4 hours. Alright, yeah. I mean, that's fair. And just was very pleased with how the day had gone. The cabinet didn't put up much of their usual fuss, making for an almost enjoyable afternoon gathering at the court. The ribbon cutting at the new Philly school in Upper Canterlot was most delightful.
It's all about the Phillies.
Katie. She was met with some of her newest subjects. The two
Exactly.
Here it is. The two pony-sized bananas that had appeared a couple of hours ago were a strange sight, but Twilight's litter had cleared everything up, and Celestia had them detained while she figured out what to do with them. She chuckled at the thought of evil bananas attacking Ponyville. She clearly does not give a fuck. She probably, saw that Spike read some extra stuff and was like, I don't really care.
I don't want to read that. I'm lazy. What's the matter?
Ed had briefly wondered if Discord was involved, but you never really knew what might wander out of the Everfree next.
Totally funny. Colored pony-sized bananas are legit.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not suspicious at all. Oh, Celestia, you're so wonderfully, not even giving a shit right now. Last Celestia reached the top of the tower. Luna was waiting for her.
Oh, god damn it.
Sister? Luna asked. Can I is it fine if I do, Luna?
I know, it is fine. It's just, I like Luna, and I'm like, god damn it, now I'm already reading Celestia, so I can't read Luna.
Yeah.
If I had known Luna would show up.
I see you. Yeah, because of course you'd rather read Luna. It is an unfortunate night coincidence to have a curse. I don't know what I'm saying. Has anything strange been going on in Ponyville today? Celestia lifted the teacup daintily to her lips and shrugged.
There was something from Everfree today, but Twilight took care of it. Other than that, no. Why?
Luna pointed to the telescope she had been peering through. Then, can you explain this, dear sister? Celestia put an eye to the telescope and immediately spit out her tea. Entire buildings were hovering almost 60 feet in the air above Ponyville, and large square concrete behemoths rose out of the ground that dwarfed even Twilight's castle. Jeez. Celestia shouted without taking her eye from the telescope.
What in tattoo is this Twilight doing?
Luna...
Why are you blaming Twilight? Like, this could be anything.
I don't know.
That would not be my first... And honestly, and she already knew Twilight was completely insane. This would not be my first expectation.
Well, like I said, she's half psychic. I guess this is... She knew Twilight was going crazy. I guess her psychic half didn't pick up on this bit. Luna raised a skeptical eyebrow. Wait, Twilight is doing this? Oh, I see now. Celestia saw the purple aura surrounding the floating buildings. It was definitely Twilight. Celestia would know that aura shade anywhere. She had seen it many a night, if you know what I mean.
I'm not entirely sure what that would imply, but I guess. Yes, it looks like it. I give her absolute power over Ponyville this afternoon, and...
Celestia stopped mid-sentence. Luna smacked her face with a hoof.
Celestia's or her own? Ow! What?
She clearly grabbed Celestia's hoof and was like, I need this real quick. Bam.
I know. I mean, I guess because it seems weird for Luna to slap Celestia in the face, so I was like, is she slapping her own? You know?
Yeah.
Because normally when you say her, that's the last thing, her is the last person referred to by name, right?
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh
well. Was all that Celestia could muster as the realization hit her. She sighed, and the two princesses took flight toward Ponyville. The sunset would have to wait.
God, that
you
sucks.
guys really are terrible at your job. You're not even going. It's this. I know this is a big deal, but come on, you can't just real quick make the sunset happen.
That's what I was saying. Like, imagine another set of a quest. Yeah, I'm sure. Or even the griffins or whatever, dragons. Sun's not setting. It's the fucking ponies. They never do that shit.
That would suck. I imagine, like, yeah, the
They had one
griffins are
job.
probably, like, getting cooked, and the dragons are probably freezing to death, and everyone's just like, no, why?
This sucks. I mean, the dragons probably have someone who like deals with the, I don't know, like, so, I'm sure everyone else has responsibilities, and they do their responsibilities all the time. They don't just like stop doing that.
I don't know, do they? They don't seem to have any. The ponies seem to literally do everything.
But that would imply that the police own the universe.
Well, isn't that literally true though?
I don't know. Either way, I just needed a second chapter. Where
Yeah.
the hell is my Twilight and Celestia like combat to the death?
Oh man, that would have been pretty intense. I'm honestly happy with where it ended. I thought it was going to have that whole like dramatic, like sad talk of being like, "No, Twilight, you need to be evil." And Twilight was like, "I guess."
I wanted to meet more Twilight, man. I was
Yeah.
totally in character here. I've
That's
never been as
fair.
in character.
I did want to see. I would love to see like an epic lightsaber style fight between
And I
Celestia and
wanted like
Twilight.
Spike to get like sent somewhere.
Yeah, and
So, and honestly, I still say it is kind of funny how we knew the story. I was like, very beginning of the story, like Twilight, just screw everyone. You're a princess,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of what she did.
It is funny. We were calling it the entire time and asking for it. That's just what the second half of the story was. It's like, yeah, Twilight, no, there's no reasoning, there's no like, there's no the upper path. It's just Twilight like, "Oh, you want to demolish my home? I'll demolish your town, bitch."
And then she turned into this Fluttershy.
Yeah.
You know, the
Wait.
whole. If you take Fluttershy when she gets assertive in that one episode.
Oh yeah, Flutter bitch. I remember that.
I don't think that's
episode.
canonically the name.
That should be
They
technically
should release
the
it
name.
as a figurine though. Flutter bitch. To
Uh,
smack you like press their chest to smack you in the face.
that
a
would
curse.
be pretty awesome. They should have. They should have off of the either discorded Fluttershy or that, like you said, the episode you mentioned, just like a toy where you press a button and Fluttershy insults you.
Best
Uh,
thing ever.
Yeah, I would totally own that.
No, they make it and they get at least one sale.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, oh, come on. Are you saying you wouldn't? I mean, it would be hilarious.
Princess Twilight Zoning Board. We liked it.
Yep, 10 out of 10 would
I
read
most
again.
specifically liked Eva Twilight because Eva Twilight is best Twilight.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with the turn it took. With the first half of the story, I was worried it'd just be like pretty much a Phoenix Wright style story, but it took a pleasant turn for the worse.
It made
and,
for a slightly weird pacing, I would say,
yeah,
but that's not like if you're not reviewers, so like. But
Right.
I just want to mention like it did make for a really weird kind of pacing, but I can't really complain about either because. That's why you can that's why I respect fan fictions rather than books sometimes because in fan fiction you can do that. It kind of hammered home that you didn't expect this to have
Right, exactly.
because of the pacing because it was not paced in the story that normally would do crazy Twilight
Right, but
because the second half was so fast in compared to the first half.
yeah, it was pretty instantaneous of Twilight being like, fuck your shit.
Like in a book, people would be like, you can't do that. Pacing is on stuff. But in fan fiction, it's like, well, you have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want. It
Yeah,
makes for a good read.
Exactly. Yeah, and it of course helps that it's not nearly as long as a book, so, I don't have to sit down and, read like 5 chapters of lead up before something happens. But anyways,
Ponies.
ponies and
Sunshine.
evil Twilight and Spike got turned into a banana probably.
But actually, Spike made out alive.
I mean, Spike did make it out
In fact,
alive.
Spike
but-
didn't do anything.
I know, it's funny, it made it sound like he was going to do something, but I
But
guess
then
he
he's like,
didn't.
ah, maybe not.
I guess that's what happened. He considered explaining the situation, being like, Twilight's evil, but then he was like, but she could turn me into a banana. Yeah, exactly. But
Either
that
way.
was fun. Yeah.
We are done here. We have done our job.
Exactly. But this was fun. So thank you all for watching. Hope y'all had a great laugh with us, and we'll see you all next time.